What's up guys, MTG of MTG Reviews, and today I have the most expensive car that we've ever reviewed on the channel. At 3 million rands, not only is the most expensive, but the most luxurious, feature-packed and fastest, and the quietest car I've ever reviewed on this channel. All thanks to BMW Montana. Make sure you check out BMW Montana on your next BMW purchase, as they have the best customer service and inventory. And throughout this video, you'll see Lydia, who was assisting us with the review. Welcome to the BMW i7 xDrive 6T Sport. This is the electric version of the 7 Series, and it actually might be the better version, but we'll get more into that throughout the video. So this car is jam-packed with technology, but let's start with what's on the outside. This car comes in 11 colors, in which all of them look good. If I were to spec mine, I'd have it in mineral white metallic. But the one that we have here is either M carbon black or black sapphire metallic. The look of this car on pictures doesn't do justice on how it really is in real life. It looks hideous in pictures, yes, I understand, I know that. But then once you see it in real life, everything changes. So the grill, yes, it's kind of big. It's actually not what we used to when it comes to BMW. But then looking at the i7's competition, in which is the pebble-shaped Merc EQS, the i7 looks way better and it has more presence. The headlights were developed in cooperation with Swarovski, the jewelry, fashion, and crystal company. It has this crystal effect, in which is the only car in production that currently has this effect. The main headlight unit is the one at the bottom. Moving to the side profile, well, this is what sold me to the car. Let me tell you why. So this doesn't look big on pictures, but then trust me, this is a big car. This is a very large car. The side profile is fairly uncomplicated and simple to the eye, with a shoulder line that connects the rear light with the headlight. Below the shoulder line, we have these door handles, which are VSOP. These are not the normal ones. These are not what we used to. So to open the door, you can do it by either pressing a button hidden inside the handle, or as my bro did, by pressing this button, which has an ultrasonic sensor embedded to sense if there's an object on the door path. If there is, the door won't really open further, and opening doors automatically actually takes some time to get used to, as we used to do it manually. Moving to the back, it looks a bit aggressive with these slim tail lamps, and it has this blue lining on the BMW logo that signifies that this car is electric. And the wheels that we have on this one are the 21-inch M Star Spoke Style 908 M Bicolor, and you have 3 more options to choose from. So yeah, for me, the exterior, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Now let's get inside, and of course we're starting from the back and see what it is. Now this is the best part of the car, the main reason why the car exists: the rear seats. This is jam-packed with quirks and features. So firstly, these seats, damn, I bet this is what Goku felt when he was riding Nimbus. These seats are really good, the best I've ever sat on by a mile. And just on the side, the door panel is a screen that you can use to control a couple of things from the back, like opening and closing sunshades, controlling ambient lighting, and reclining your seat and moving the front passenger seat to create more space. But then the thing is that it blocks the driver's view of the left rear view mirror. But then as a chauffeur, you'll mark a plan. So the rear seats are really cool. They do this gymnastics as it moves forward and upwards to a point where you reach peak realization possible on a car. But then that's not the biggest and best feature of the rear passengers. Nope, this is a 31-inch 8K theater screen. As far as I know, there's no production car that has this size screen and quality. This can do what your TV does, but then there's kinkas about it as well. The aspect ratio. There's no content that fits this 32:9 aspect ratio. But then you can watch your normal content, but then it won't fill the screen. So if you want to do that, it will do that, but then it will crop it in if you want to fill the screen. And you can do things like plugging in an HDMI input. So you can basically play PS5 on the back of your i7. But then come on, with people who are gonna buy this car are not about that life. And you can control this 31-inch screen with the screens that are on the door panels. And if you want to tug away, you can do that by a press of a button. It folds to the roof. Oh, and did I mention that the roof also has ambient lighting? Yes, it does. This is really cool, actually. Another thing from the back seats, I don't understand why most manufacturers don't do this, is having a B pillar mounted event. These are the best implementation because the air is not blocked by your knees. And we have USB-C ports hidden here and a mount for a coat hanger. Yep. No other car that I have has a mount for a coat hanger. This shows that this is for business people. That's pretty much it for the rear seats. Let's hop to the front seats. So when you don't feel like you wanna use your hand to close the door, you can just step on the brake pedal and voila, it closes. So on the dashboard, you have this big crystal bar that runs across, and it goes to the doors as well from the dashboard, and it doubles as an ambient light, and it changes color depending on your mode and what you feel like doing, because you have different modes here, and yeah, they change that. So, and it actually flashes when you press the hazard light indicator, and there's no way you mistakenly leave the hazard indicators on. And I actually like this implementation, it's unique. Now to the infotainment screen. This infotainment screen is packed with widgets and apps to a point that I think they were trying to do away with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And of course, we have gimmicky features as well, such as opening and closing all the doors at once. I don't know where one would use this, but then if ever you want to use it, it's there. You can change different modes as well, and in which is gonna affect the ambience of the interior. And we have gesture controls, which works quite well. You can adjust the volume and control the 360-degree camera view. You can control it by pinching and then just moving your hand, and then it will move with your hand. And it's actually impressive. I like that. Yeah, it's a cool thing. And the camera, it's high quality stuff, man. It just, yeah, it's good. Now to the sound system. This is not what I was expecting, and this is interesting. It has the Bowers and Wilkins sound system with a total of 39 speakers. 39 speakers. That the output is at 1965 watts. Yeah, that's a lot. But then the question that matters is how does it sound? It is a surround sound which makes it like, oh no, they call it a 4D sound effect. Yeah, but then the sound is different. It's like different from every car that I've been in before. But then the problem is the sound, for a lack of better word, it doesn't sound tight. It's just, mm, it's not my favorite. And so, with that said, the Audi A4 B8 still retains the title as the best sounding car with the best sound system I've ever been in. So yeah, it's not about the watts or number of speakers. It's about the placement of speakers as well. So yeah, it's good, but then Audi A4, B8, yeah, still at the top. So there's a lot on this infotainment system that we didn't actually go through because we didn't get enough time to unpack everything. We're running on a tight schedule and we only had about an hour to film everything, which is unfortunate because this is the most feature packed car we've ever reviewed on this channel. Anyways, now let's go to the digital gauge cluster. This has some quirks as well. It has this augmented view which shows what's in front of you using the front mounted camera. I really like it. Like it shows what you're already seeing, but then seeing it on a screen that's in front of you as well. It's just, yeah, it's impressive. And we have a heads up display as well, which transcribes what you say when you activate the Hey BMW assistant, just like Siri and Google Assistant do. It writes what you say there so that it has, like, I don't know, you see what you're basically saying, it transcribes it like that. Directly under the infotainment screen, we have the climate controls, which are capacitive touch, and they work. They're okay. They're okay. Would have loved the old physical knobs, but then these are okay as well. And then under them, we have the events, which are the smallest event opening I've ever seen on a car. They they changed the overall aesthetic of the dashboard, and yeah, if you watched my review of the Havala H6, you know very well how I feel about this kind of events. and you can control them with this thingy here. So yeah, you control the airflow where it goes. Now the center console, of course it has the Swarovski crystals as well, and the start stop button has the crystal as well, the gear shift, and we have this iDrive controlled wheel, which is cool. Actually, I like it because you can control the screen with it, or you can just touch the screen. So, and we have this knob, the gear knob. Yeah, it's small, but then it's actually helpful because it frees up a lot of space here. As you can see, we have cup holders here which are not obstructed by anything, and a wireless charger in front of them. So we have some space here on the center console. Now to the performance. As I've said, this is the i7 xDrive 60. It has a battery capacity of 105 kilowatt hours. It allows for 400 kilowatts and 745 Newton meters of power output. While that's not Tesla Model S planned numbers, 400 kilowatt is a lot, and it really needs every bit of that, as it weighs 2,540 kilograms. That's 15 kilograms more than the BMW X7. However, heavy doesn't mean slow, as it has a claimed 0 to 100 of 4.7 seconds. So this smokes the Golf GTI effortlessly, and you'd feel comfortable doing that. With all those impressive numbers, it has the claim range of 590 to 650 kilometers, in which it's okay. It's a big car. I'd prefer over this. I'd prefer a diesel, but then I mean it's an electric car and it's heavy, so yeah, 590 is actually good. Well, that takes 34 minutes to get to 80% from 10% at a high power charging station, and take up to 29 hours if you were to charge it at home at a 3.6 kilowatt output. But then with load shedding, that might take a lot more. So yeah. Oh, and the ride quality as well. This is the most comfortable car I've been in. And yeah, I think I've said that at the start of the video. Yeah, it really is that comfortable. And I reckon it's better than the internal combustion models because it doesn't have an engine. So it's the quietest. There's no vibrations at all, there's no noise. So it really is quiet. So, okay, the cost of ownership of the 7 Series. The range kicks off at 2.1 million rands. For that, you're going to get the internal combustion 740i, but then the one that we have here is the i7 M Sport. That start at 2.9 million rand. So let's find one and see how much it would cost. So I found one at around 3 million rand. So let's see how much it would cost to pay it off monthly at an interest rate of 12.45% over 6 years. Without deposit, it would cost you 60,391 rands and down to 54,066 rands with 10% deposit. And we need to factor in charging as well. So the prices differ depending on the output. So we'll use DC charging, that's the fastest one. But they still differ as well. But then we'll use this one here by main lane. It costs 7 rand and 37 cents per kilowatt hour. And this guy has a battery capacity of 105.7 kilowatt hour. So multiplying those numbers, we're going to get 777. That's less than a Polo's full tank. But then the trade-off is the time it's going to take to charge it. But then your chauffeur will take care of that. And lastly, insurance. This is tricky because I couldn't get a real number, but then we'll estimate it at around 8,000 rands. So the monthly payment without deposit is going to be 69,168 rands, provided you only charge it once. And that charge was from 0 to 100 and would go down to 62,843 rands. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot still. I mean, you can buy a brand new car, not brand new, but then I mean, you can get a new car for you. It's gonna be new to you. You can get a car basically at that price. But then no one that's buying this car is thinking of that. They just focused on what they're buying, in which is the i7. So lastly, what's my take on it? I think it's a really good car. Comparing it to the EQS, I think this is a very good looking car. I mean, yeah, you know how the EQS looks like. So if ever you're considering buying an ultimate electric luxury car, my advice is to go ahead and buy it now and you won't regret it. So that's all from me for today. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video across your friends as well. Danko.